Hey, excuse me. Hi, this is random. I was across the street and I saw you. I thought you were really cute. I just
Oh my
wanted to
God,
say hi.
thank you. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Well, yeah. I mean, would you want to grab a coffee sometime or
Sure,
when you're
just
free, when you're not
text me.
doing?
Sure.
My phone's kind of dead right now, but I can give you my number and then I'll just like text myself.
In this video, I'm gonna break down how I, an introverted, regular-ass dude, was able to approach a girl respectfully and get her number within like 65 seconds. My goal with this video is to help you realize that cold approaching isn't really as complicated as it might seem. I'm gonna teach you how to do it respectfully, and I'm gonna talk about how starting simple 60-second interactions like this can literally change your dating life forever and overall make your life way more enjoyable. Let's get into it. So a huge concern that a lot of guys have is that they want to be respectful when they approach women. They don't want to come off creepy. They don't want to be disrespectful. And I totally get that. I was also in your shoes once upon a time, especially with younger guys like Gen Z, millennial age guys. We grew up, with Me Too, with cancel culture, all that stuff. And a lot of guys are worried that approaching a girl is equivalent to catcalling or something like that. As long as you do it respectfully, it's totally fine. The key is to find a balance where you're being respectful, but you're also kind of being fun and spontaneous as well. You can kind of just copy the way I started this interaction.
Hey, excuse me. Hi, this is random. I was across the street and I saw you. I thought you were really cute. I just
Oh my
wanted to
God,
say hi.
thank you. That's
Yeah.
nice.
I dodged traffic to come say hi to you.
That's so nice.
Yeah. What's your name?
The first thing that I would pay attention to is body language. Most body language advice, honestly, is not really worth listening to. But when it comes to eye contact and your smile, those are the two things that do matter when it comes to approaching a woman. You'll see stuff on YouTube where guys will be talking about the exact angle at which to approach a girl, all this geometry. It's really not that complicated, but smiling and eye contact is pretty important. You want your vibe to just be friendly. Don't listen to these guys on YouTube telling you to be disrespectful and, put down a girl to like manipulate her into liking you. That's not how you're going to get women. That's not how you're going to approach a girl on the street and have her like you. That is more equivalent to catcalling. So when you walk up to her initially, make sure that you're being friendly, that you have a smile on your face. Maybe you're kind of laughing about this whole situation, and make sure that you're making eye contact. Eye contact is probably the biggest indicator of if you're confident or not. Just imagine you walked up to a girl and you're like,
Hey, excuse me. Hi. I just want to say,
bro, she immediately realizes that you're insecure, that you pedestalize her. You're not really going to have a chance, honestly, if you can't make eye contact with a girl. If you have trouble making eye contact with attractive women now, like you feel like it's a little bit too much, I'll recommend two things that you could start doing right now that'll make you more confident making eye contact. Number one, first of all, go on walks. And when you go on walks, instead of looking down at your feet the entire time or the sidewalk in front of you, look up at people and give them a smile, make eye contact with them, especially when it's an attractive girl. Don't shy away from it. Look her in the eyes, and if she looks you back in the eyes, give her a little smile or something. That'll start making you feel more comfortable making eye contact. The second thing is when you're at a Starbucks or a coffee shop or somewhere where you're ordering food, try to make eye contact with the person that you're talking to. Now let's get into what you actually say. So again, trying to be respectful but also spontaneous and fun. I started the conversation by saying something like, hey, excuse me, this is random. I was across the street when I saw you. I thought you were cute. I wanted to come say hi.
Hey, excuse me. Hi, this is random. I was across the street and I saw you. I thought you were really cute. I just
Oh my
wanted to
God,
say hi.
thank you. That's
Yeah.
nice.
I dodged traffic to come say hi to you.
That's so nice.
Yeah. What's your name?
If you start the interaction by saying, hey, excuse me, that's pretty much the most polite way you could start a conversation. Saying something like, this is random, that kind of acknowledges the whole context, right? The whole scenario. You're basically telling her that you're aware that this is random and spontaneous, but you're doing it anyways. And it shows her that you're socially aware as well. I then say, I was across the street and I saw you, thought you were cute, I wanted to come say hi. I always like to give some sort of context about where I came from, what I was doing when I saw her, maybe what I'm about to do. Like sometimes I'll be at a cafe and I'll be like, hey, I was sitting over there, I'm about to head out, but I saw you, I thought you were cute, I wanted to come say hi. This just kind of gives the girl a better idea of who you are. I then say, I thought you were cute, I wanted to come say hi. You have to let the girl know that you think she's cute. This is the hardest part for a lot of guys, obviously, actually saying that they think the girl is cute. And it's probably the most important part of this entire interaction. First of all, it kind of clears up why you're talking to her, right? Again, she has no idea who you are. You have to remember that. She's walking down the street or she's at the cafe, whatever she's doing. She's living her own life. Then you come out of nowhere and you start talking to her. You need to explain why you're talking to her. Otherwise, she's going to think that you're like a crazy guy, that maybe you're a homeless guy, maybe you're a sales guy. Like, what's the point? Why is this guy talking to me? So giving her the reason, which is, hey, I thought you were cute, I wanted to come say hi, that immediately lets her know why you're talking to her. This aspect of a cold approach is what a lot of guys are worried about. They think that calling a girl cute is catcalling or something. If you're being respectful, if you're being conversational, if you're being friendly, like I'm teaching you how to do in this video right now, telling a girl that you think she's cute is actually important, okay? It also shows her that you're confident. It shows her that you are comfortable going for what you want and being direct, which is a very attractive quality for a man to have. I always prefer to say cute, like literally the word cute. Hey, I think you're cute, over words like attractive or beautiful or gorgeous or, good, like saying something like, I think you look good. I think that's kind of douchebaggy. I think that saying the word attractive is a little bit too kind of like animalistic, kind of. I don't even know. It's just kind of weird to say, like, I think you're attractive. It's a little bit too straight up. Saying something like beautiful or gorgeous kind of depends on the situation. Like sometimes you could say it, but overall, I think that's too much to say, as soon as you walk up to a girl. I always like to say the word cute because it's as if you were 5 years old on the playground again. It's so childish, it's goofy, it's very innocent, which perfectly captures the moment. That's the way I view these interactions. It's not as this like bro, hustle culture, red pill energy. The way I view these interactions is it's a fun, innocent moment, like as if you were 5 years old on the playground, you ran up to a girl and you were like, hey, you're cute, and you just fucking run away or whatever. That is the energy that a lot of us are lacking these days. That childlike innocence is that energy that so many of us men need to embrace in these interactions. A lot of men, especially in this self-improvement space, they take themselves way too seriously, and it makes them stiff, it makes them emotionless, it makes them way too results-oriented, which, puts pressure on the conversation. Dude, honestly, let go, relax, have fun, pretend you're like a 5-year-old on the playground and she's your playground crush or something. And I know a lot of guys that struggle with women never had that crush in school, like when they were in elementary school or middle school and high school. You might have had a crush back then, but you never actually had the confidence to talk to her. This is your chance to fucking relive that fun, childlike innocence that you missed out on when you were a kid. So try to view it that way more instead of like this fucking alpha male content way, you know what I mean? So I always say something like, I thought you were cute, I wanted to come say hi. Again, it's super casual, I'm just being friendly, I'm being conversational. I'm not trying to put any sort of pressure on the girl whatsoever. That's why I'm saying very light words like cute and I just wanted to say hi. I'm not saying, hey, I thought you were gorgeous, I wanted to come talk to you, or hey, I thought you were beautiful, I wanted to come get to know you. That's a little bit too much of a commitment for the girl in that moment, right? You're just a random guy off the street. But if you're being friendly, if you're smiling, you're making eye contact, you're saying very loose, open-ended things like, hey, I just wanted to say hi, I thought you were cute, that is going to increase the chances that the girl will be interested in talking to you. So moving on, she needed to cross the street, and I was like, sure, I'll just cross back with you.
That's an interesting name.
Thank you.
Okay, Jacob.
Yeah, I do need to cross the street.
I'll cross back with you. What are you up to today?
It might not seem like a big deal, but just imagine yourself in that scenario. Would you have walked across the street with her, or would you have been too afraid of committing to the interaction like this? A lot of guys in this scenario, if the girl says, hey, I need to cross the street, or hey, I need to go that way, a lot of guys would be too afraid of following the girl and walking with her. They think that it would come off as needy. They don't want to seem disrespectful. But honestly, man, as long as the signs are good, like if you're smiling, if she's smiling back at you, you're having like a nice little exchange, you could totally just stay committed and stay present in the interaction and keep walking with her wherever she needs to go. I then keep the conversation going by asking, what are you up to? I always ask this. I mean, maybe like 90% of the time, just because it's the perfect, natural way to keep the conversation going. It's a very open-ended question, which is for sure going to lead to more details about her, who she is, what she's up to, right? Like, obviously, you want to get to know her better. It also keeps you both in the present moment. That's pretty important when it comes to these conversations. If you walked up to her and said, hey, I thought you were cute, blah, 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 you had that first exchange, and then out of nowhere you went, so what do you do for work? Like something random like that. That's obviously way too abrupt and out of nowhere. But saying, what are you up to right now? That keeps you both in the present moment. You're not thinking about anything else outside of just the present conversation that you're both having with each other. And again, it opens up the conversation to a ton of different possibilities depending on what she's doing. So this girl, for example, she said that she was about to study for her finals because she's a college student.
I'm actually studying because I have finals.
Oh,
So,
okay. You in college?
Yeah.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm senior.
Senior. Okay,
yeah.
cool. Like 22.
Yeah. Well,
Nice.
22 in February, but yeah.
Okay, cool. How old do you think I am?
I would say like 24, 25.
That's cool. Yeah. Yeah.
How much?
25.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. So are you about to like go to the cafe or something? or-
Yeah, I'm gonna get coffee and then meet one of my friends for lunch.
Nice.
And then go back to the library.
Okay.
So-
Cool. You go to Georgetown? Nice. Smart. Educated. What do you?
I don't know about that.
What do you study?
Government.
Oh
so very
shit.
Georgetown.
Yeah. Wow. You're in the
Very
right place.
So that's new information about her that I just learned. I asked her how old she was, and then we had that little exchange where I asked her to guess how old I was, which is just a fun way to reveal that information. After that, I asked her again if she's about to go to a cafe to study, and she said yes. And then, I got more information out of her about like what she's studying, where she's studying. That led to some funny little, remarks like, wow, you're so smart, you're educated. The key to all of this, and you might have noticed this, I'm not trying to impress her. And that's what I want to talk about right now. I want to talk about the fact that every guy that is afraid to do this, a lot of that fear comes from this perfectionism, this fear that you're not good enough, that you have to live up to some sort of standard for this girl to even give you a chance. What I want you to do is to completely flip the switch on that mentality. And when you walk into these interactions, instead of worrying that you're not living up to the hype, to the standard of what she might like, go into these approaches and literally tell yourself, I'm about to be boring as fuck. I'm not trying to impress this girl. I'm just going to act like a dumb, boring guy and just see what happens. It sounds kind of crazy, but that's literally how you're going to become more confident in these interactions. Instead of putting so much pressure on yourself to be perfect, to be charismatic, to have riz, to be witty or whatever you want to be, to be alpha or whatever, just stop worrying about all of that. Tell yourself straight up, be like, bro, just be boring and walk into the interaction and just see what happens. When you're not putting pressure on yourself, that's when your brain starts to relax and you're going to end up having a way better conversation than if you did put pressure on yourself to, make this conversation perfect. This entire conversation, I'm not really saying anything interesting whatsoever, but what I am doing is I'm smiling, I'm being friendly, I'm making eye contact with her, I'm talking slowly, I'm staying grounded in who I am. I'm not really trying to be anybody that I'm not. So don't try to impress her. I'm going to say it one more time. Do not try to impress her. You being chill and indifferent about all of this is what's going to end up being impressive to her. I teach this exact philosophy way more in depth in my private community and course, Natural Confidence Lab. The link is down below. When you ask for her number, you don't want to just say, can I have your number? You don't want to just straight up ask for it. What you want to do instead is offer a date idea and see how she responds.
I know.
For
What's your
sure.
name? Sorry.
Jacob.
Okay, nice
Yeah.
to meet you.
Cool, yeah. I mean, would you want to grab a coffee sometime, or
Sure,
when you're
just
free, when you're
text
not
me.
in?
Sure.
My phone's kind of dead right now, but I can give you my number, and then I'll
Okay.
just like text myself.
So I offered, would you want to grab coffee sometime? So then we exchanged numbers because obviously me offering a coffee date idea and her saying yes implies that we need to exchange numbers to coordinate that date. Straight up asking something like, can I have your number at the end of the conversation comes off pretty immature, pretty juvenile. It's really not attractive. But offering a date idea, I always just go with a coffee date. It's funny because I've actually never been on a coffee date. That's always what I say when I approach a girl during the daytime, just because it seems natural to bring up. But then after she says yes and I get her number, I'll text her that night or maybe the following day, and I'll just be like, do you want to get drinks this weekend or something? The main reason that so many guys never achieve the dating life that they want is because they're too afraid of approaching women. But what is that fear exactly? It's the fear of uncertainty. The reason why you're afraid of approaching women is because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how she's going to react. You don't know if you will even know what to say when you start walking up to her. There's so many unpredictable variables that come up in this situation, right? It's not like a dating app algorithm that just, matches you with people. This is a real life spontaneous situation that has a ton of unpredictable, uncertain variables. But truly what you need to do if you want to get good at this, if you want to become comfortable as a man approaching women, you want to become the kind of man that sees a cute girl and says, fuck it, I'm going to go walk up to her and see what happens. And there's a good chance that you're going to get her number and go on a date with her. If you want to become that kind of guy where you're relaxed with women when you talk to them, you could look them in the eyes, it's not a big deal to you at all, you need to embrace uncertainty. You can't live your life just being afraid of, what might happen. There are very few things in life these days that are spontaneous and uncertain in the same way that a cold approach is. I literally, over time, because I've done this so much, I view it as a magical space, these interactions, cold approaching a girl, because you don't know what's going to happen. And that's the most fun part about all of this, is that you get to find out. This life transformation is 100% possible for anyone to make, but it all starts with you embracing uncertainty. And to give you one more tip on how you can mentally just be more positive and happy when you approach these girls is before you walk up to her. So first of all, we talked about taking the pressure off yourself and being like, hey, I'm just going to be boring. I'm not going to try to impress her. Do that, but also imagine that the conversation is going to go well. Just pretend, just make yourself delusional, make yourself believe that before you even go walk up to her and talk to her, that the conversation is going to go well. You believing that it's going to go well is going to make you feel happier. It's going to make you more positive. And because of that, you're going to be happier. You're going to be more carefree in these interactions, which will make you more attractive as well. The one last thing I want to mention is that going through this whole life transformation could be very, very lonely. Odds are, if you're watching this video, it's because you don't really have any friends that also want to get better at this. I know for me, when I wanted to get better at this, become more confident with women, I was kind of in this weird space where I had some friends that were always good with girls, and I also felt kind of, insecure about asking them for advice with women. And then on the other side, I had friends that were very, very introverted and, socially anxious that would never want to do this with me. So I was kind of alone in doing this. And when things went well for me, it was fun. But when things didn't go well for me, it was very, very lonely and kind of depressing, honestly. But for you, it doesn't have to be. Check out Natural Confidence Lab. It's my private community and course. It has about 5+ hours of content in there. It's really in-depth and it's laid out in such an educational way. But also what really, really matters is having that community aspect. There's tons of guys in there that are in your same exact situation. You'll meet so many other kind-hearted, growth-oriented men that are also trying to transform their lives and become way more confident with women and just with themselves as well. So click the link below to check it out. I really appreciate anyone that sticks around until the end of the video. You're fucking awesome. Truly, I mean that. I'd really appreciate if you left a like, if you subscribed, if you commented your favorite part of the video, like what you learned that stuck out to you, all that fun YouTube stuff. I'd really appreciate it. And until next time.